The power of free will. 1. Free will as divine movement. Grasping the layered structure of reality can feel overwhelming at first, because free will operates at every level of being, from the personal self to the higher self, the group soul, the planet, and beyond. What we call our free will is inseparable from these larger expressions of the same infinite intelligence. It moves like a flowing force that connects every aspect of existence, constantly generating new possibilities. Realizing this begins to shift how we see ourselves, because free will is not a small personal tool, but a divine movement expressing itself through us. 2. Many systems deny true freedom. Although people assume they have freedom of choice, many institutions portray free will as an illusion. Science tends to explain behavior through the laws of nature, genetics, and adaptation. Psychology often claims that our choices are shaped by conditioning and cultural imprinting. Religion sometimes teaches that humans are too flawed to choose well and must rely entirely on divine mercy. All three models leave the individual feeling powerless, as if life is controlled by forces outside the self. This creates a worldview where true autonomy seems impossible. 3. Wake up from the cultural dream you inherited. Conditioning weighs heavily on every human, but it does not end there. It invites us to awaken from the inherited assumptions of childhood, culture, religion, and collective belief. This awakening starts the moment we realize how much untested information we absorbed early in life. From there, we begin to question everything that once seemed unquestionable and search for a reality beyond the limits of consensus thought. This marks the beginning of genuine spiritual evolution. 4. Build a life based on what you truly know. When we decide to seek truth for ourselves, we set aside second-hand beliefs and examine life with fresh eyes. We do not challenge ordinary facts like mail delivery or electricity. We question the deeper structures underlying experience. We rebuild our understanding through direct inquiry, asking what is real, who we are, and what purpose we serve. This process becomes the foundation for self-created intelligence, an intelligence rooted not in cultural dogma, but in awakened awareness. Through it, we reclaim responsibility for our ethical and spiritual growth. 5. Claim your nature as a citizen of eternity. Seeking truth requires stepping out of inherited limitations. We break away from religious authority by taking responsibility for our own evolution. We break away from scientific reductionism by acknowledging our spiritual nature alongside our physical one. Human beings belong both to the earthly realm and to the infinite. We are as much expressions of eternity as we are creatures of time and matter. Accepting this expands the scope of our identity and allows us to approach life with the dignity of an eternal being. 6. Seeking opens the door to spirit. When we consciously choose to seek, we signal the spiritual realm that we are ready to participate in a larger game of life. Spirit can be understood through many symbols, whether as the Holy Spirit, the forces of nature, invisible teachers, or the subtle guidance that has no name. The form does not matter. What matters is that choosing to seek activates a relationship with guidance. This intentional movement mirrors the ancient teaching that those who knock will find the door opened. Seeking is the knock that awakens support from beyond the visible world. 7. Free will is the first creative movement. In the metaphysical story of creation, free will is the initial impulse that moves the creator from pure potential into manifestation. The creator chooses to know itself sends forth the Logos as the essence of unconditional love, and uses light to shape stars, worlds, and the countless structures of existence. When we choose to seek truth, we echo this same primordial movement. We align our small will with the great creative will and step into the game of life with intention rather than habit. 8. Distinguish fake freedom from true free will. Human beings are born with a biological mind that mimics free will but can only choose from options it already knows. This creates a limited version of freedom based on conditioning, education, and cultural norms. It allows us to function, but keeps us on the flat game board of survival and conformity. Delegating choices to religion, science, or societal expectations keeps us trapped in this lower mode. True free will begins only when we reach beyond this limited menu and access guidance from a higher level of consciousness. 9. Invoking the higher will. True free will comes from the Creator and is the force by which creation continues to unfold. When we tap into this higher faculty, we rise above the flat game board of automatic choices and enter the multidimensional game of life. This movement draws intuitive guidance into the subconscious, as if an inner angel awakens and begins to offer new directions. By reaching inward to this deeper freedom, we can finally step outside the box of inherited patterns and see the game board from above, free from the emotional confusion that keeps us stuck in old loops. This expanded vantage point allows us to make choices aligned with truth rather than habit. From here, the game of life becomes a conscious path of growth, guided by clarity rather than reactivity, and shaped by the authentic freedom that connects us to the Creator's own intention.